Tavis Smiley. As KBLA Talk 1580 hosts, we never quite know where the conversation is going to go. But sometimes our guests really surprise us.
Let me just close with saying I downloaded your app while we were talking. It's a terrific app. I look forward to it. I'm enjoying your format and what have you. I will tweet it to my several 100,000 followers and call their attention to it as well.
If the KBLA 1580 app is enticing enough for our guests to download and share, you should download the app and share with your friends too.
That's beautiful.
What you say? So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We've got a lot to talk about.
This is easily one of my favorite Chris Brown joints. I'm telling you, it's fire. Should've let that cat perform at the AMAs last night. Fine China, Chris Brown. Come on, let's go.
Baby, does he do it for you? When he's finished, does he step back and adore you? I just gotta know. 'Cause your time is money and I won't let him waste it. Oh no, no.
Come on.
Baby, just go with it. 'Cause when you're with me, I can't explain it. It's just different. We can take it slow. Or act like you're my girl. Let's skip the basics. Whoa, now. He's so replaceable. You're worth that chase, yeah, but enough. It's alright. I'm not dangerous. When you're mine, I'll be generous. You're irreplaceable, collectible, just like mine. China, favorite.
You were checking out the Danny Morrison Show and for Don Amici versus everybody. KBLA Talk 1580. Wow. For those who haven't seen that video, that is it's a blatant ripoff of Smooth Criminal and a little bit of The Way You Make Me Feel at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit.
But it's
It's fire.
fire.
Can't deny it's fire.
Y'all know what else is fire? The Raw Report. Check this out. Let's go.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
From entrepreneurs and entertainers to money and meditation.
Robin's got you covered.
Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Like you said, Danny, there was the AMAs last night, and when I tell you people are mad, this is probably the biggest talk of the American Music Awards. You know, it's music to me. It's music's biggest night, right? Mm-hmm. And Chris Brown just a few days ago had gone onto social media telling everybody, this would have been my performance. He showed the video of him performing it was great. The performances, the dancers that he had with him performing his Under the Influence song. But then it transitioned into a tribute for Michael Jackson. And do you remember 10 years or when he did I guess it was 2010 when he did the tribute to Michael Jackson for BET Awards? Absolutely. He shut it down. And I think so many people look forward to Chris Brown. Who else is going to do it? And people are going to say Usher, but Usher is not moving like Chris Brown still to this day. All right. He's proven it with his residency in Las Vegas. But no, we ain't hating. We still love Usher. We still love Usher. But Chris Brown, people look forward to him, doing stuff for Michael Jackson. And unfortunately, he said that they canceled his performance for reasons unknown, and he basically sent the entire internet in an uproar. Everybody was just starting to talk about how wrong it was. And not only that, they were sort of like coming at it from the angle of, this is black people, black music, be careful. If he's doing it to Chris Brown, he could do it to anybody.
Facts.
The Game, he went online. He's always dropping nuggets. I don't know if you follow The Game or not.
Okay.
I don't follow him, but I love when he talks about
nuggets.
He does drop nuggets.
You think so?
I think he drops nuggets.
I love The Game.
It may be hood. It may come out a little hood, which I love. I love a good hood nugget. But anyway, The Game, he said.
Hood nuggets.
I love hood nuggets. He said when they pulled Chris Brown's performance from the AMAs, all hip hop and R&B artists should have declined too. He said, but we'll never be that unified, and that's why they keep and will always use us, suck the culture dry, and disrespect us in our faces and behind our backs.
The Kyrie argument once again.
It is basically coming up again, right? That we should all, like, exactly like they said, we should have all backed Kyrie. You know, so Chris, the game is saying that about Chris Brown. That don't you believe that to be true though? Like once you see something being unfairly done to one of your own, that's a community that belongs to them. They're all in the music industry. That they all should have stood up maybe and declined to go.
Well, there is precedence here. You know that, right?
Such as?
Back in I'm trying to think what year it was. 89? When was Parents Just Don't Understand? I think it was 89. They won the first Grammy, the first hip-hop Grammy. They wouldn't let them perform live on the show.
Right.
All of the hip-hop generation said, then we're not going. And they didn't. And they did their own show, their own concert at a isolated venue somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why some of these other award shows have popped up and maybe not done too well, but we sort of get what's behind it. And even if it's not going to start your own thing, it's just saying, I'm not going. I'm not attending. I think that's what the game is saying. But, you know, the night went on. The night went on.
I'm sure the ratings were putrid, though.
I don't know, because I surely didn't watch.
I thought last year was the lowest of all time,
Was
right?
it really?
I believe so.
Yeah.
There's no way it was higher than that.
I'm not too sure. You know, people are just happy to kind of get back out there in these award streets just because of COVID. It shut everything down for a while. But, you know, Chris Brown did win. And Black Twitter was like not having it. They're like, how you gonna let this man win? He won for a favorite male R&B artist. You gonna let Chris Brown win, but he can't perform at the AMAs?
No disrespect to Chris Brown. If it ain't Chris Brown, who else gonna get that award? I would love to see who was in that category.
We gonna find it for you because, yeah.
Who else is gonna get Best R&B Artist in 2022 that ain't named Breezy?
Okay, so basically you're saying nobody else could even step to Chris
He's
like
the
that.
only one, at least what mainstream pays attention to, that's still making R&B music right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there is no denying it. Chris Brown is literally that guy. I'm waiting personally for the AMAs to make a statement and say, like, what that was about. It could be something that was valid. You know, I don't want to jump to conclusions and just be like they're canceled just because they canceled his performance. But maybe it was something valid. Maybe they just decided to not, you know, play the tribute or whatever, or have him perform.
But Robin, this is what bothers me about us sometimes. I guarantee you there's a story attached. I guarantee you something happened between the superiors at the AMA and with Chris Brown that he ain't telling us.
Maybe.
What if there was in an argument where he disrespected somebody, threatened some? Who knows? I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying, what if something like that happened, but we don't know? They're not talking, and he won't tell us.
Yeah.
And we're attacking the AMAs, and we don't know the whole story.
That could be true, but I don't know Chris Brown to have, you know, to go and back down from anything. Chris Brown, he almost feels like nothing can, he's almost invincible in that sense, that nothing can hold him back. He doesn't feel like he owes anyone anything. So I feel like if he knew the reason, he would have told us the reason. He quoted reasons unknown. So I'm not sure, but what I do know is that, interestingly enough, when he won the awards, Kelly Rowland accepted the award on his behalf. And what's interesting is people started booing him. And I don't know if they were booing him because he didn't show up or whatever, but let's listen to what Kelly Rowland had to say. She had to get these people together real quick.
Chris Brown. Now, Chris Brown is not here tonight, so I'm accepting this award on his behalf. Excuse me, chill out. But I want to tell Chris, thank you so much for making great R&B music. And I want to tell him, thank you for being an incredible performer. I'll take this award, bring it to you. I love you. Congratulations. And congratulations to all the nominees in this category.
Well, that was cool.
There is a divide still that exists within the black community when it comes to Chris Brown.
Do you think his past is still haunting him?
I know people, usually older people, that can't stand him. They still got the Rihanna incident in their mind. A lot of us have moved on, myself included.
Yeah.
You can't hold that against that cat for the rest of his career. And he's been pretty clean from that moment on.
Yeah.
But there's some people that still just cannot stand that kid.
Now, I don't know if any of those people were at the AMAs, though. The people who are still holding something against him. So I don't know who was booing him. I don't know if... Can you mistake being booed?
Could they have been booing the Academy? The Academy?
American Music Awards.
What do you call the Academy that does the voting?
I see.
Well, the industry does the voting. What do you call
just the AMAs.
Those people.
The AMAs. The people who do the AMAs.
Could they have been booing them?
That is a good point. Nonetheless, Kelly Rowland was like, listen, not on my watch. So she shushed them. You don't like that? I need to know because your face is looking...
You know I love Kelly Rowland.
I know. What are you about to say?
Stop it. You're doing too much. I just get the award. You'll accept the award on his behalf. You're doing too much. We don't know the story. I always say, guys, let's take a step back. 2-3 days, let's take a step back, and we'll find out what happened. Then we will react accordingly. And then we wind up with egg on our faces. We always do. We did it with Kanye 1,000 times. We go, y'all better leave Kanye. And then we find out what he did, and we go, okay, that's not good that he did that.
You're right. There is always another side of the story. I'm not sure that... I think Kelly Rowland was right for shushing the people. I think she got them together. I thought that was pretty cool. And I love that she showed him love publicly as well. So anyway, congratulations to Chris Brown, even though we're not going to see the performance. Maybe we'll see it again, like in the near future, BET Awards or something like that. Maybe we'll see one of those performances.
That's a great idea, Robert.
It would be great.
If BET is smart.
It would be great if they gave him.
Right now.
That's right. Show us how we really gather around our people, right? But when we come forward, I have this very interesting clip that I want to play for you. Talking about Gabrielle Union, which I really like her. I really like her now. I think a lot of people have come a full circle, but we'll talk about her in her past when we come forward. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles.
From middays to nighttime.
Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Sanctuary of Hope invites you to come out, support Homeless Youth Awareness Month at a candlelight, interfaith prayer, and youth voice reflections, Tuesday, November 29th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more info, visit thesoh.org. Did you know a housing crisis puts young people at huge risk of more violence and trauma? And right now, young people and their children need support more than ever. Prevention services such as financial assistance, education, employment support, and mental health well-being are main drivers of impact. Contact thesoh.org for more information. Did you know an estimated 4.2 million youth and young adults experience homelessness, of which 700,000 are unaccompanied minors? The pathway to functional zero is prevention. More info at thesoh.org. Again, thesoh.org.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you more of what you love, like premium travel benefits and access to Taylor Swift tickets. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. Plus, get access to Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, presented by Capital One. Maybe I'll see you there. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Spilled your milkshake? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading Ordinary brand. So you can get back to your milkshake.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to announce a can't-miss community event.
It's a celebration.
Welcome home, Mayor-elect Karen Bass.
Oh my God.
Join us for this free public event as we celebrate Mayor-elect Bass's historic victory. There'll be entertainment, food trucks, and a diverse array of vendors, along with attendance and participation from community leaders, elected officials, celebrities, business owners, and other notables. KBLA Talk 1580 will host Mayor-elect Bass on the main stage as we reflect on the importance of this moment and what it means for the Black community, women, and all Angelinos who believe in the limitless potential of our amazing city. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 and our social media platforms for all the important details. We look forward to celebrating with Mayor-elect Karen Bass and you.
We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now, it's a celebration.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
And you were smack dab inside the Raw Report. Let's continue, Queen.
Yeah, I came across something very, very interesting. I wonder if you'll feel the same way. A lot of people used to look at Gabrielle Union as one of those nice, nasty people we talked about. And I only know this because I read the comments and I see what everybody says, right?
They hate her.
They used to hate her. And what's interesting is I felt similarly. I said, there's something that she's dealing with from her past. Like, you know, that high school type of thing. There's something there that I'm not sure what it is, but she's always sort of like exuded this like nasty little behavior. She's admitted in several of her interviews that there was a problem. She used to hate on Black girls. She
really?
used to,
she said that?
Yeah, she used to, there was a great, I'll find it at one point. There was a great conversation she had with Oprah. I think Viola Davis was there and some more powerful Black women. But she was saying how she felt like the only way for her to get ahead was to sort of step on, you know, these other Black women or maybe talk bad about them or whatever it was. So she's clear about the issues that she had. However, I don't know when the change happened. I like it though, but something happened. Maybe it was her becoming a mother. Maybe it was her becoming a wife. Maybe it was her, you know, becoming more exposed or just becoming more comfortable in her skin. But she's talking she's promoting a new film that she's in called The Inspection. And during this interview, she talks about some of the issues that she used to have. One of them included hiding her Blackness. I know. Sounds interesting, right? Well, let's listen to this clip and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, how she used to hide her Blackness and why. Let's listen to it.
Oh, I was Black. I'm like, girl, they knew you were Black. But I literally hid my lip. You know what I mean? Like that, like as illogical and silly and stupid as that is, I tried to minimize my Blackness. I tried to constantly be shape-shifting, that dual consciousness. I had multiple personalities. I was trying to constantly, you know, change who I was depending on the room if I thought it was going to get me this far ahead. All the things that you do for a man, all the things that you do for Jesus, all the things that you do for whoever you think that is going to deem you worthy, deem you good enough, deem you worthy of all the opportunities and life riches. You'll do anything. You will barter with anything. And for some of us, that's children. And for me, it was my soul many times. So
she used to hide her top lip. She would conceal her top lip when she smiled to hide her Blackness. Is that not one of the craziest or sad? And actually, when I think back, I used to always think Gabrielle was beautiful, like stunningly beautiful, but she had a weird smile.
Right.
It felt weird. I was just like, it's weird. I don't know how to describe it, but now I know what that was. She used to hide her lip to sort of, I guess, maybe appease other people. Maybe she thought like the white people so she can get more jobs or be seen as beautiful or whatever the case is. Kind of interesting. I've never done that or known anybody to do that.
Do you think that her role she was in those Bring It On movies, right?
Yeah.
You think her role in that was autobiographical?
Interesting.
Thank you, Andy.
Does Andy think so too?
He agrees. Do you think so? You think that she took that role too close to heart?
Like what? Like break that down for me.
She's a mean girl in that movie. Really, really mean, really aggressive, and she played it to a T. Maybe
so that's not acting.
Maybe it's acting come to life.
Maybe maybe that's why she did so well when it came to those roles.
And most of those roles that she did, notice she's aggressive for the most part. I think in Being Mary Jane, she's a loving person.
Yeah.
But even remember in Bad Boys 2, she was the sister, right? She's a jerk most of that movie.
Remember Eva, what is it? Eva Eva. Wait, what is it?
Deliver Us from Eva.
Deliver Us from Eva.
Andy, you're the freaking man. I swear to God.
I just want to say that video solidified the reason why I always had like this somewhat hatred towards Gabrielle Union.
What video?
The one that Robin just played. The clip.
The clip. Okay.
And it just, she always had like her nose in the air, kind of stuck up. And Danny, you enlightened us with the movie roles.
I'm telling you, man, she's just really good at it. She seems like a natural when she does it. But you know what? I love growth, though.
I love growth, and I love when you can do that in public too, because that's not easy to do. But when you start becoming more vulnerable, you start letting your true self, shine. And I tell you, the moment that did it for me, it's personal. I'm telling you, I'll tell you what it is.
Is this story time with Robin Ayers?
It's story time. I've told it before, but it is story time with Robin Ayers.
Okay, everybody pull up a chair, or
get your blinky. Where's the popcorn?
Even your binky. It's story time with Robin Ayers.
Story time with Robin Ayers. She had done a movie, Cheaper by the Dozens, right? By the dozen. It was a remake, of course, Disney's remake of that film, and it was. She was in an interracial relationship. They had biracial children. It was very different. And so it was exciting just to see that they were doing something a little bit different anyway. Well, anyway, I did cover the red carpet for that. I was talking to everybody. And Gabrielle was the big ticket, right, on the carpet. So everybody, of course, you needed to talk to Gabrielle in order to make sure that your entire night was made, as from a standpoint of being a correspondent on the carpet. Well, anyway, I was talking to somebody, and one of the worst things in the world to happen when you're on the carpet, I swear I used to do this. Now, I only did it one time before I checked myself, because I was like, Robin, what did you just do? I was at the Soul Train Awards. Pause the Cheaper by the Dozen for a second. Pause that.
Right.
About 7-8 years ago, I was on a carpet somewhere, I think the Soul Train Awards, and I was talking to someone who one could say is not as high on the ranking, because I don't believe in turning people down.
You got a name drop. Why are you going to do that to us?
Well, I'm not going to say who it was.
Why can't we just say
I'm not going to talk. I ain't going to do them like that. No, you can't do these people like that. I don't turn people down on the carpet. It's part of my issue, right? I talk to everybody, because you never know. Like, number one, you showed up on this carpet for a reason. You want to have your moment. These people's publicists are standing by to take pictures of their client talking to the media. I'm not going to not talk to you. I'm going to give you your moment.
Okay, you gotta take us through the process. You can't just dance on that. We want to know how. Somebody's coming, and you couldn't care less who they are. But right behind them is Denzel Washington.
Yes, it's happened.
Tell me what do you do?
I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm talking to someone that is not of like a name worthy for the sake of what I was doing for the internet or the outlet that I was interviewing for. Some other person is walking by that I don't necessarily know in person, but I knew their people. And I yelled. I said, as I'm talking to this person, I basically yelled over them. I said, hey, like, I can't believe I did it. Wow. I was so embarrassed. I did it. Because I didn't want them to leave. That's your one opportunity to grab that person, and I'm sitting here talking to this person. Now, that's really wrong. It's really wrong, and it was very embarrassing, but I did it.
Is that person considered a celebrity?
Which one?
The one that you ignored.
I was talking to them. I was talking to this person. They're known culturally.
Okay.
They're known culturally. Yeah, so it wasn't bad. It's just that I wanted to talk to this other person. I didn't want them to leave the carpet until I had an opportunity to talk to them.
So why couldn't you say, don't you move. I got to get that interview, but I still want to finish up with you.
You can't do that.
Why can't you do that?
You can't do that. There's an etiquette. What I've learned now is that, number one, people aren't leaving the carpet. They're just going over people. They'll come back. And then you grab their publicist and you say, can I get such and such? But you never ignore the person that you're with, or you never put them on hold, because this is a moment that is they deem worthy. Like, all of us, we should care about them and value them just as much. Okay, so let me move on with this story before we go to
It's all good. You're so great at telling stories. Go ahead.
Okay, so now fast forward, I'm at the Cheaper by the Dozen red carpet. Gabrielle is basically moving along, and that moment is playing in my head. I'm like, if I don't grab her, she's gonna leave, right? But I learned my lesson. I'm not gonna stop who I'm talking to yell at Gabrielle or her publicist to get her to come. I can't do that. So if I miss her, I have to miss her. But I saw her publicist as I'm talking, and I sort of looked at the publicist and gave them an eye, like I need Gabrielle. She brings Gabrielle over to me, and Gabrielle stands there and waits for me to finish my interview with this person.
Wow.
It was the most kind thing. And when I looked at her, she gave me the look like, I got you, sis.
Wow.
It was that black girl moment.
Yeah.
Where
what was the almost famous person? Were they white? Were they black? What color?
The person who I was talking to, I don't even remember who I was talking to.
Dang, that's cold.
Dang, Danny. I don't remember who I was talking to because we know the real moment was talking to Gabrielle, right? Yeah. They're all great moments, but she stood there and waited because she understood that no matter who you are, especially as a black journalist, you're on the carpet. We've so many times had the big A-list celebrities bypass us talking to the big wigs, and then they completely leave us behind or to talk to last or not at all. And so she didn't do that with me. She stayed right there, and I was like, you know what? In that moment, this sounds crazy, but in that moment, I had already seen growth from her, but she really showed me that like she's grown a lot just at her as a person. So I really appreciated that, and it made me like her even more.
Thank you for telling us that story, because I think there's a lot of people can't stand her, but when they hear anecdotal stories like that,
it's important.
It's like she's not a bad person.
Yeah.
You know? I'm waiting on that from Kanye, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm waiting on that from Kanye too, y'all. I'm waiting on people to find that kind of growth and say, look, I'm just trying to learn just like you guys.
Absolutely. So that's my Gabrielle Union story. She used to hide her lip, but she don't do it no more. Anyway, when we come forward, we will definitely talk about the question of the day for Danny, who's excited about that.
Let go!
You're still inside the Raw Report. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Texas Military Department is sending armored personnel carriers to the U.S.-Mexico border. The actions followed Governor Greg Abbott's declaration last week that he was invoking his section of the U.S. Constitution to allow him to defend the border against an invasion of criminals and illegal border crossers. Police are still searching for the suspect who killed 4 University of Idaho students. They were all found murdered on November 13th in a house near campus. Autopsies revealed they were slaughtered by someone with a large knife. The Baltimore home where the late rap legend Tupac Shakur lived as a child is up for sale. The home became available earlier this month, and the asking price is $179,000. The listing says Shakur lived in the first-floor apartment when he was 13 years old in 1984. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Good afternoon. Things are a little bit rough getting around downtown. We do have the auto show at the LA Convention Center, and that is going on until Sunday. In Linwood on the East 105 at Long Beach Boulevard, we've got a work zone that's got the off-ramp blocked off this afternoon. In Diamond Bar, westbound 60 at Grand Avenue, that right lane there is closed, and it is jammed up from Phillips Ranch. Southbound 57 also bunched up from Temple onto the 60 from this project.
Does an electric car need to be $60,000? Not really. Meet Solo, the revolutionary single-seat electric commuter for under $19,000. Nicely equipped. It's the EV you've been waiting for. Order yours at drivesoloev.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers are seeing a timely resurgence in Anthony Davis during their 3-game winning streak. With LeBron James out, Davis is averaging 35 points, 17.3 rebounds, 1.3 steals, and 1.3 blocks. AD is only the 3rd player in Lakers history to put up at least 30 points and 15 rebounds in 3 straight games. Elgin Baylor and Shaquille O'Neal are the other 2. That's pretty good company for AD. The Clippers are at home tonight against Utah. The Pac-12 has some work to do with the men's college basketball rankings. No Pac-12 school is in the top 10 of this week's AP poll. UCLA dropped all the way down to number 19 after losing twice in Vegas over the weekend. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're a slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
If you're the victim of a car accident, call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review.
Call on me, your MVP.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley. As KBLA Talk 1580 host, we never quite know where the conversation is going to go. But sometimes our guests really surprise us.
Let me just close with saying I downloaded your app while we were talking. It's a terrific app. I look forward to it. I'm enjoying your format and what have you. I will tweet it to my several 100,000 followers and call their attention to it as well.
If the KBLA 1580 app is enticing enough for our guests to download and share, you should download the app and share with your friends too. That's beautiful. What you say? So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Congratulations to this week's KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week, Community Legal Aid SoCal. Advocates for justice in Orange and Los Angeles counties. Congratulations, Community Legal Aid SoCal.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. It's normal. With CalHope's free and secure mental health resources, it's easy to get the help you and your loved ones need when you need it the most. Call our warm line at 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here with Dom Kennedy at JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. They're here to promote generational wealth building in Black communities. He's an independent rapper and the owner of OPM record label. Dom Kennedy, why do you find it important to be here today at this event with Chase?
For me, we've been having a lot of conversations with them, and giving me a lot of good facts and a lot of good feedback that I felt like needed to be shared. And if people heard it, they would take to the information and it would help them on their quest to be homeowners and just better off financially across the board. They like my perspective and being an artist and somebody that people knew that was born and raised in LA. People older and like bank managers could kind of be a little intimidating, I guess, to everyday people, especially that has never purchased a home. So just the angle of me being able to communicate it and make the story real, I guess for the younger people was a great opportunity and I didn't want to pass on.
That's awesome. So answer me this. Why is it important for companies like Chase to promote generational wealth in Black and brown communities?
Keep it real. They make a lot of money off the Black and brown communities. I look at it like it's a great responsibility for them to take on, to want to share some knowledge and some facts and try to put more people in homes, and give them a shot at and a chance at generational wealth. I think it's beneficial to both parties,
I'm Maisha Cairo, and that was Dom Kennedy. Stay tuned for more tips from Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory. Thrill of victory. Yeah,
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to congratulate Mayor-elect Karen Bass on her historic win as the first woman and only second African-American to serve as chief executive of the city of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA Talk 1580?
I want to say thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community. And I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from and understand that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
We're KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. And we don't black down. We've got a lot to talk about. Now back to more of the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, what? You didn't. Is Is it another baby making show? Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Let's go!
The sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. I'll give you the world and all that you wish for,
and even
more. Girl, I'll love you more than you could know, and that's for sure. I climb the highest hill, cross the widest sea. Nothing could discourage me, and I pray that you'll be always there for me forevermore. I'll give you everything and more.
Yeah!
Let's go. Come on.
All that I've got is yours. I'll give you everything. All that you're looking
Ready or not, after
I'll give
7.
you my
Ready or not, you were
heart,
inside
my
the Danny Morrison Show. KBLA Talk 1580 in for Don Amici versus everybody who will return on Monday. We will all go live on Monday, but we are in here in this time slot today, tomorrow, and Wednesday.
Oh,
and right
yeah.
now, you are smack dab inside the
The
Rob
Rob
Report.
Report.
Let's continue. Let's go.
First of all, shout out to Andy. Andy is, woo, that one felt good right there. That felt good. Before we get into the question of the day, though, I did come across the American Music Awards production company. They finally responded after they received, of course, a ton of backlash for cutting Chris Brown's Michael Jackson tribute. They said in their statement on Monday, in a statement to ET, a DCP spokesperson clarified that the tribute being pulled was a matter of creative direction and no fault of Brown's. Live shows change all the time. It's the nature of this business, unfortunately. This element of the AMAs didn't come together as we couldn't align on the performance to no fault of Chris Brown, the statement read.
That's a cop-out.
You
Okay,
think so?
now y'all can attack him.
Okay,
That's
so
a
you
cop-out
feel
response.
like, okay. It still doesn't make any sense. How did they initially have him ask him, to perform, and then he obviously had to be within that time frame from when he was told that he was going to perform to when they canceled it. It had been a while. He had full dancers, a full routine. He was performing at some sort of, hall, dance, rehearsal hall. For him to be told that it's not in alignment. I mean, this is the creative, element, I guess. It's just interesting. So anyway, but what can we say? It's come and it's gone. And
I've been a student of these award shows for practically my entire life. As a matter of fact, I've been obsessed with them my entire life. I have never seen someone previously announced as a performer yanked. I've never seen it. Have you?
I don't know. I've not, but I don't know that they had publicly announced that he was going to be performing.
It is true. We only heard it from him.
We only heard it from him. That's the only reason we knew that it was going to happen in the first place, to my knowledge. But I don't know. What I'm hoping is that what we said before, hopefully the BET Awards or someone can acknowledge that it was going to be a fire performance and that they still have him come on.
The Zeus app.
No.
The Zeus Awards are
no.
coming. You know them awards is coming.
They can't afford to bring Chris Brown on. Not at this time.
Man, Zeus. We're going to do a show on Zeus pretty soon.
Listen, I know the people. If you want to get some real good, if you want to make it real good, we'll have them come on and really talk about some things.
I think that app is a problem. I think that content is a problem. But, hey, so they're obviously getting some listeners and some watchers. if you
Oh,
will.
tons. I mean, they're making a lot of money. They're profiting a decent amount over there.
At what expense?
At what expense is the question. But I will say this before I move on. Lemuel Plummer, who is the CEO of Zeus, has he's spoken about this extensively, about his views on the type of shows that they put out. something about the way that he answers these questions seems really good to me. I don't know why.
Just give me balance, Robert. You know how I am.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody censored.
Yeah.
And that does serve a certain demographic in this country. Demographic of us. Give me some balance.
It is really, I will say, it's getting out of hand. I see all the things that they're bringing on. I think they did have a balance earlier on, and then, something happened where maybe the ratchet stuff was getting a little bit more play. And that's sort of what they just went in the direction of what the audience was telling them to go. I'm not for it. I don't subscribe to it or anything like that, but that would be a good conversation. And I'll definitely try to get them on to talk about it.
That would be a blessing to have that conversation.
Yeah. So we can hear from the man himself as to, what goes into the decisions behind putting these shows on air.
Not all money, good money.
That's what they say. Now listen, question of the day. Danny, the question of the day is, what is happening? This is not going to be a relationship. You were so excited about it. Shoot. It's actually a little bit more serious. Okay. What's happening in our world? What's happening with recession? Are we on the brink of a war? What's happening that this woman has found emergency food inside of the store? I'll go ahead and play it and then let you decipher what's going on and tell me your thoughts as to, do you think we should be getting emergency stuff? Is something on the horizon? Let's take a listen.
You guys, make this make sense, okay? Why are they starting to sell emergency food packs? Okay? This is a sign that there is something going on. You understand me? Look at this. What this say? Emergency food supply. Look at this. Stop playing. What the heck are they getting us? Are we supposed to be getting ready for? Okay? Look at this. Pancakes and... Look at this. They getting us prepared for something. I don't know what this is, but y'all, we gotta, hold on. There's more.
It's a lot.
Look at this.
Now, I need to know, what are your thoughts in the store? First of all, you don't look like you're buying anything that something is on the horizon here.
There's an opportunist out there going, I got an idea. COVID got people scared.
Do you think that's what it is?
That's all it is. Look, there's a lot of people that believe we're on the brink of Armageddon. There's other people that believe we're on the brink of a race war. There's other people that Putin is pushing things too far with Ukraine, and that's going to cause World War III. There's all kind of conspiracy theorists out there. I believe there's an opportunist that said, people are pretty fragile right now, and all the stores were running out of all kind of food and supplies during COVID. I'm going to create a product that's going to make them buy my product just from that fear alone, and it's working.
Okay, that's one take on it. But I'm very curious. Are you prepared for it could be a natural disaster. We've learned that back in, I think it was 93, the 93, I believe, Northridge earthquake, where no one was expecting. You weren't close to here at the time, where we had this huge, it was, I think.
Northridge?
Yeah, the Northridge earthquake.
That thing was a monster. As a matter of fact, I was working in the building industry. We sent some of our guys down here to help.
Yeah, it was disastrous. I had things falling on me in our home. I had a TV follow me. A mirror fell and broke on me. Like, it was just kind of crazy. But we learned that, we weren't as prepared as what we thought, right? You needed the water. You needed all kinds of, just emergency things. And so I guess maybe even if nothing is on the horizon, if nothing is about to come up, do you feel like we are sleeping on the fact that we should be prepared?
Oh, there's no doubt we're sleeping. Like Noma said, they've been saying that California's going to break off into the ocean for 50 years.
They've been saying it for a while.
But if it does happen, I don't think the black community is prepared. We're not prepared for the next week. So I know we're not prepared for the future.
So I did hear this one woman. She said we need to, she's a preacher. She was like, I'm hearing in the spirit that we need to go get beans. She was like, just go get beans. Beans, and rice.
Beans, rice, potatoes, beans, potatoes.
You made it! She said that well before Thanksgiving. But no, I think that so every time I go to the store, not every time, I need to get better, but sometimes when I go to the store, I'll grab a couple of extra cases of water or, containers of water just to have like things. So this made me, if nothing else, it made me wake up. So we need to wake up and be prepared if we do need to go get emergency food or something else.
Agreed.
When we come forward, We've got the motivation moment that you've named it, Danny.
I love it.
And speaking of Denzel that you mentioned earlier, this one is going to come from him. So stay right there. It's a good one. Stay right there. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Tweets with racial slurs have soared since Elon Musk took over Twitter. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. Only a week after the Tesla CEO bought Twitter, reports of the racial epithet used to attack black people was reportedly used 26,000 times, tripling its average this year. And a slur used to target trans people increased by 53%. Instances of offensive terms for homosexual men soared 39% over the yearly average. Examples of offensive terms used to target both Jews and Hispanic people also increase. This all according to research done by the Center for Countering Digital Hate. KBLA listeners, what do you think about Elon Musk, the man who describes himself as a free speech absolutist, taking over Twitter? Let us know by tweeting us at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
You're the victim of a car accident. Who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
East West Players brings you the stage play Brothers Paranormal by Prince Gomovilas, directed by Jeff Liu, November 17th through December 11th. After a nationwide increase in sightings of Asian-looking ghosts, two Thai brothers, one from Thailand and one from the American Midwest, struggle to launch a ghost hunting business and are called to the home of an African-American couple displaced from Hurricane Katrina. This suspenseful, humorous, compassionate exploration of the trauma of leaving home, whether crossing the country, the globe, or the other side, is a play for everyone. Get tickets now through December 11th at eastwestplayers.org. eastwestplayers.org.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Listen! You are listening to the Rob Report, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA. What's going on with the motivational moment tonight, huh?
Before I get into the motivational moment, I had to think real quick. I met someone a long time ago who they spent their time at home. Just when we were talking about preparing and being, ready for whatever, this person would take their time and organize batteries, like anything you could possibly need, flashlights and like the things that you break open,
That's awesome.
But it became obsessive. It became obsessive, like not just a pastime. It was like obsessive. That's what you do. And I'm like, oh, you are ready for something. So
I haven't asked you, do you believe World War III is coming? Will it come in your lifetime? Do you believe so?
Lord knows, I hope not. I don't know. But I don't know if it's World War III, but I believe that something will happen of some great magnitude while I'm still alive. Of some great magnitude that will cause us to be on the, to be ready.
Wow.
Yeah, I do believe that. I don't know what it is, but I do believe that.
They've always said, what if they impacted our food supply? Or our water supply. People think it's going to be nuclear warheads and such. What if they impacted our food supply?
Yeah, which is the reason I have a cabinet full of beans and rice, right?
Tomatoes.
I have a cabinet full right now, and I'll probably go back and get some more. Motivational moment today comes from, it stemmed from the person who, we've talked about many times on this show, Bishop T.D. Jakes, who was having a conference of some sort, and he had Denzel Washington on. As you can imagine, I'm sure the Denzel Washington portion of this interview was just amazing. He's always dropping like nuggets. Some of my best inspirational videos that I've watched have come from Denzel.
He's number 2 all time.
So yours is E.T. and then Denzel for you. Okay, he's up there with E.T. I love what he says. His delivery is sometimes a lot.
What?
His delivery is but you're a man.
Okay.
You can take it.
You think it's a man thing?
I think so. I think sometimes it causes for the hype, but sometimes it's like, just mellow. Just give it to me mellow. You know what I'm saying?
I take it you agree?
I'm going to give you a little bit of intel.
What?
Danny Mo.
Yeah.
I've had callers call before.
Oh, no.
I'm not putting them out there or anything like that.
Okay.
But they love you, right? They love you and they love your content.
Yeah.
But they feel sometimes your delivery could be a little bit too aggressive.
But that's me.
I understand that. but to Robin's point, your delivery is just, for some people, they can't stomach that.
Do you think that I identify better with men than women? Because the numbers say otherwise. So does my DMs.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Thirst trap Morrison.
I'm just saying.
That was a good one.
I have data.
Hey, Danny Morrison, you provide a nice balance.
A nice balance.
Thank you.
Very interesting. So yeah, it makes sense that you can identify with ET. And I like the guy. I like what he stands for. I like his hustle. I like all of that stuff. But Denzel, the smoothness. Give me the smoothness. So let's go ahead and listen to the word, the motivation moment.
Put you on the spot, and I'll only ask you to do this because you do it every morning for your cast and your crew. I am going to ask you to close this.
Let's bow our heads. Let's bow our heads. Dear Father in heaven, we thank you. We know that to whom much is given, much is expected, much is required. And we know that you require from each and every one of us our undivided love for you. You are our beacon of light in this darkness. And we say thank you and thank you and thank you and thank you and thank you, not just for what you've done, but what you are going to do, what we can't see. Thank you for guiding our steps. Thank you for protecting us when we're getting here and when we leave here today. Just thank you for all that you've done. And I pray and I know that out there in this audience, I just feel the people in this audience, Lord. I feel them, Lord. I feel them, Lord. Hallelujah. 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 I feel them, Lord, and I know that I know you want to touch them all. I pray that something we set up here touches them and makes their relationship with you stronger, better, tighter.
Yes, Lord.
More loving. These things we ask in your Son's name, and we pray, and we know, and we thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Sometimes, the things that we feel here on this show, and every time we talk about often, you and I praying before we get on the mic and delivering a message and just being used, is really my prayer every single day. Sometimes somebody can say it so much more eloquently, you know what I mean? And so I appreciate that prayer. That's to me the motivation. But also he mentioned the scripture Luke 12:48, to whom much is given, much is required. And I feel that way even with this, like even with the show, even every time you and I come together, yeah, it's fun. We have a lot of fun. We talk about so many different things, but this has been given to us to hold, to protect, and to be responsible with. And so it requires, for us to stay prayed up. It requires for us to stay connected to not just God, but, culture and just everything that's going on in the world, to be responsible with how we bring it to the mic, to let everybody know who is listening, they've not watched the Shade Room. They've not opened up Yahoo or CNN. They've not done any of that. But the first type of news that they hear is going to be from us. So, just that part is required, to know as much as we can to bring it appropriately and professionally and responsibly to the microphone.
That's right behind Denzel Washington with another word. That's very well said.
Yeah.
I can't tack on much to what you just said, but I'll only say that every single time I'm driving in, I'm talking to God like I'm talking to you right now. Every single night. And I understand the power that we've been given in order to impact people that are listening to this broadcast. I understand the words that are coming out of our mouths aren't from us. They are from the man upstairs. And you mentioned the word responsibility. We understand that every time somebody listens to the show, I know they may be listening for the first time. I want them to be impacted. Whoever listens, I don't care if they listen every day or listen one time, I understand that the words that come out of my mouth are from God himself. And I pray when I come in here every single night, please God, give me the fortitude, give me the verbiage, give me the focus to be able to say something that might impact somebody and potentially change their lives. And like you said, we laugh, we joke, we fart on the mic sometimes. You do, I don't.
You do.
Okay, I do. But you know what? That little giggle that they give might be what they needed that day too.
Absolutely.
Maybe they had a terrible day and they go, man, they got me in here laughing right now.
Yeah.
So we might make you cry sometime. We're going to make you think all the time. We might make you laugh sometime. But I believe God knows he's got his hands on this show. And he says, I want to take these two into the future to make sure that they have a show that impacts the community.
Yeah, and I think it's evident by the types of messages we receive all the time, text messages, DMs, you know. There are so many people who are in constant contact with us, and they let us know how we affect them. So I definitely appreciate that, and I know that the prayers are being answered. But this is also to any of the listeners as well, whatever it is that you have been given, whatever it is in your life. And sometimes you might not even think it's much, but whatever it is that you have been given, much is required to be responsible, to be, you know, to cherish it. Whatever it is that you have, cherish that very thing. And to me, my opinion is that you will be blessed with even more.
Oof. Well said. 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we continue the conversation. Some upon further review clips on the other side as well. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. At least 16 people are hurt and one is dead after an SUV smashed into an Apple store in Massachusetts. It happened this morning in the town of Hingham, just south of Boston. The local district attorney wouldn't speculate if this was an intentional act. Nicholas Gutierrez told NBC LA he didn't mean to hit the cadets with his SUV, and